Hi, how you doing? You having a nice day? You doing well? Did you get enough rest last night? Are you eating well? Did you drink some water today? You should. You should have some nice clean water. You should. You're not on that stuff, are you? Have you been drinking again? You're not beating Matilda, are you? I thought you were gonna straighten your stuff up and get on the wagon. Stop beating your wife, yelling at people, calling them racist. No, what's going on? This is the end of the night for me. I don't stay up late. I normally go to 10. I'm on a day program. I'm on a day program. I've always had to been. I've had to always work during the day. So that doesn't mean that there's not nights where I don't sleep, because that happens. But I can take a couple of those and not really be affected. You got to get the micro naps in. See what I'm saying? You see this crystal? This is a Herkimer diamond. I know it's the cartoon version of it, and I'm sorry. That's all. That's what you get. So I had this dream one time. Put it right here on my forehead. I had this dream, and in this dream, I just dumped out my pipe. I was seeing Axl Rose and Guns N' Roses on the stage, and I don't remember exactly the song. And mind you, I do not like Guns N' Roses. I never have. I hate them. I think they suck. But there's one song, and I'm not sure what it was. It doesn't really matter. It wasn't the point. I was seeing in the dream somehow some way to use this crystal to take the message of the song and connect it to the audience. And I could see the audience, and they're all out there, with their hands waving, you know, and I really got a sense of all those people who felt that music, what it felt like, and how everybody knows that song and what it means to them, because it was a song that the lyrics speak to you. It wasn't Welcome to the Jungle, but it could have been, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Okay? And this dream told me that this gem, if I used it correctly, I would be able to get that sort of conceptual bridging going on with those people that I would want to hear my song or want to hear my story or whatever my message. My message would resonate with the masses. And I like that. I like that. Now I found it today. I have it in a giant, one of those glass water jugs. I had it in there. I just happened to notice it, and so I went ahead and emptied it out and got it out. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it by me, because I do like to do a lot of crazy stuff with crystals. I have my bed wired up with this earthing system that incorporates the bed springs on one of the mattresses, but I've got a metal plate that goes underneath, and it goes right out the wall and into the ground, which majorly affects your body. I remember because I unhooked it. I have a fast disconnect that I've made, and I unhooked it, and when I woke up the next day, I was fucking inflamed bad. I was all puffy and shit, and I didn't remember that I had done that. I had a really bad fucking body effect the next day, and so it helps that. But even further than that, I have it jumped to where I've got it going into a pole that has a crystal in it, because I be using that orgone, that Wilhelm Reich method of I've made a sky buster, a cloud buster before, which is badass. You basically take a metal tube, like 6 of them. You see this tattoo I've got here? That's the configuration of it. It's you have 6 tubes with a 7th in the middle. Each tube has a coiled crystal. Now, if you coil the crystal, you have to do it with gloves, and then you put resin in that, like a resin hardener. You put that in the tube so that it's going to fill the bottom where you have the coiled crystal in there. When that hardens, that coiled quartz crystal, it needs to be a quartz, not just any old crazy crystal. The coiled quartz will piezoelectrically cause an energy to move that you'll get a standing wave come out of the tubes. If you get all seven in the right alignment, I think that turns it into a, one of those longitudinal rays, not one of the bullshit ones that go on the side, but one of the other type of waves, because it would punch a hole through the fucking clouds, and the effect on your environment is amazing. Like, it's really good for those electrical towers and shit like that. You can just put some orgone at the base of those, and it drastically changes the energy. Because all this electric shit makes an electrosmog, and it affects your vital energy, which is what the orgone is. The orgone is basically a form of chi. I've got these Chinese magic books, and they talk about the Wu Ji Shin. You have Jing, and you have Qi, and you have... The Jing is like your magical power, and the Qi is like your life force. But you get access to those energies through the Qi, because it's a biologically harmonic energy, not like electricity. Electricity is the most dead form of the light spectrum. It just happens to do mechanical work for us, and our whole society is dumbed the fuck down. We didn't. They burned all the works of fucking Wilhelm Reich, and he was making a real dent in the people he was treating, putting them in an ORAQ. ORAQ is a container where it was like wood, then it had a layer of... Wood was the outside layer. Then you have imagine the pink insulation, and then imagine if you put over that pink insulation a steel wool. Then another layer of the pink insulation, the steel wool. The layers cause a charging effect of the energy because they bring in that life energy. And when you're in there, when you're in a saturated life energy area, it all purples out. The energy is real fucking weird, and you start blissing out. And it's very nice. And if you set up one with a plasma generator, you get a field to come up, and in that field, it's very blissful and neutral. You can't have a fearful thought. You don't entertain them. You know what I mean? You're at your baseline of your creativity. You're not really going to be able to sink into shitty emotions. They're just not going to last because you're having so much life energy. Of course, you need to move around and move it around, because where you have the stagnant life energy, and it can get stuck in your organs and in your process, because you have a microcosmic orbit that comes up your spine and then cascades down your sympathetic nervous system of energy. And when you breathe and you take it through the different gates along the path, like say you come up from the back of the spine at the coccyx, and you bring it up along the way, you're going to have, along like those chakra points, you're going to have different manifestations or gateways where it steps up. Once you get into the brain, you breathe in, and you're using your breath to do this. You're moving it down, and you connect your tongue to the top palate of your mouth. That connects the circuit, and then it goes down through your heart, through your organs, into... Now, if you build up a massive amount of energy, you can store it in your actual navel. That's the spot. That's called the triple burner. The lower dantian is what they call it in the Taoist stuff. But it's badass, because even being exposed to the information will alter your life and change your understanding of the energies that you're already in. Because we're not looking at the full spectrum of energies that really that are really available to us, you know, because we're thinking, oh, you know, the first intro to that is when you find the Schumann resonance, because you can play the Schumann resonance in the background and it can be a carrier wave to all kinds of magical functions or energy avenues where you can do different things, you know, astral travel, remote viewing, all kinds of stuff like that. Those are called siddhis. Siddhis. That's Hindu for the powers. You get them as a side effect of circulating the energy and accumulating it. If you're running on just base energy to keep your body going, you're not really feeding your higher centers up. And a lot of times I say they, but most of our society is designed to keep us in that lower fight or flight state, which is going to keep us in the 1, 2, 3 chakras. And all our gifts are fucking above 4, 5, 5th chakra, third eye, that fucking indigo. That's your form builder. You can build anything, create, and manifest anything from that energy. But you need to know the different energies that you are. And you have access to them once you look at the full fucking program. And you need to do some esoteric studying to do that. Because the world's not just what you see, it's what you are.